And we are live. I'm always looking the wrong way when we start live. Good evening, and welcome to another episode of what is today? Talk About It Thursday. I've been on here about 4 times this week, so I don't know where I'm at, y'all. I'm all over the place. Hey, Liz, thank you for joining. Let me get over here so I can make sure I can see what's happening in the chat all over the place. So I am excited again. I get to talk to this amazing sister. I only got to talk to her shortly, maybe a couple of weeks ago. So I'm really excited to be bringing her here to talk about this project that she has going on. She's a best-selling author. She is a vocalist extraordinaire. She be out here singing, y'all. She be out here singing. So I'm so excited to bring her on here so she can talk about the beautiful things that she has going on, her programs, her book, her blog. She got some stuff, y'all. So I'm going to let her tell her business while I'm up here telling the business. I'm going to bring her up here so she can tell y'all what she has going on. So her name is Shumon Hudson. And I'm bringing her up, right? I'm bringing her up, and we're going to talk about it today. We're going to get into it. And that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing today. So welcome again. Pull up a seat. Bring your friends. Share the broadcast. Well, you can't really share it unless you're outside. If you're watching from the Facebook page, you can share it. But if you're watching from the groups, you can't share it, but you can share it otherwise. And if you're watching on YouTube, you can share it. So if you're watching in any of those places, share it. Pull up a chair, get in these comments. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. So I'm going to bring up our guest, and we're going to get into it today, y'all. And welcome, sister. Welcome.
Hey. Happy Thursday, everybody. I call this Friday Eve. We are glad to be here.
Happy Friday Eve. I see.
Yes.
I'm always this for mess. Okay, I'm gonna leave stuff on because I'm over here messing with stuff, trying to turn stuff up, and I'm gonna leave it alone because I didn't pull up a whole different screen. So I'm gonna leave it alone. Anyway, I'm gonna leave stuff alone, y'all. I'm always messing with stuff. But yes, happy Friday Eve, happy Thursday, happy day. Oh my goodness, we are in the last week, y'all, of January already, right? So man, this thing is moving right along, and I'm so glad that you are here. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself and let the people know who you are, what you do, what you got going on.
Absolutely. So happy Thursday, everybody. As I said, happy Friday Eve. I like to introduce myself as I am Shumon, and that means for me that I have finally come into the place where I am confident and comfortable in who I am as a person. I am first a daughter, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, I am a mom of 4 amazing young kings. I am a wife. I absolutely enjoy being married. It's been a beautiful blessing for me for these going on 12 years. Ooh, that sounds like a long time. But outside of that, I'm a creative. And so I am a 2-time best-selling Amazon author, as well as a motivational speaker. And I do like to speak to a variety of different things. I speak on marriage a lot, and things that we do as, women and in marriage, and just how marriage works. I'm going to plug that because that's actually the next book that's going to be coming out soon. It's called Marriage Still Works. So I'm working on that. Wow. And the outside of that, I'm a motivational speaker, like I said, and I'm a vocalist. I've been singing since I was a young child in church. I didn't even realize I really could sing or that I liked to sing until, like many of us, you probably got forced into the children's choir by your parents, and then you realized I had the gift at that stage. So I've been singing for a very long time, and we can talk about that in a little while once we kind of get there, because I can definitely share some things with you there about my vocal journey. But I'm excited to be here talking.
I am excited for you to be here. Marriage Still Works. You have, you just keep coming with all of this good stuff. I don't even know where to start. My goodness.
Marriage still works, honey, and it works in our community. And so many times social media has made it look like it's just easy. It's not. Marriages work, but it works if you work it, and it works if you want to work it. Both people. And but yeah, so for many people, it's they take the easy out. This is my second marriage, so I take marriage very seriously. I take being a wife very seriously.
Yes.
And how I move and how I represent myself in and outside of the home. When I step out of the home, not only do I represent myself, I represent my husband, I represent my kids, I represent my parents. And so when I'm going to step out, I'm going to step out in the right way and handle myself in a confident and positive way of integrity.
Yeah, let's talk. You know what? Because I think that is such an important conversation. Marriage still works. Like you said, social media has you thinking it, is easy, but social media also has us thinking that, for the most part, that we don't want to get married, or that, that Black women don't get married, because that's another thing that they say, or that we, that we're just not getting married. And I think that's a myth. As you can, as you know that, and that marriage is not work, and I guess it really depends on the person, of course. People have been married. A lot of times people get jaded. They like, I ain't getting married ever again, or, whatever the case may be. But I do believe that in this day and age, man, it's kind of frowned. I don't know if it's frowned on, but you know what I'm saying? It's just not celebrated the way it used to be.
Well, so
no, go ahead.
I'm gonna get on my soapbox for a few minutes, and then I'm gonna jump off of it. Okay. So there is for me, I feel like a misconception that as women, we don't need a man.
Right.
I need my man.
I know that's right.
I do.
Right.
I 100% need my man. Am I a leader in my own right? Can I stand on my own 2 feet? Can I do the things that I need to do for myself? I absolutely can.
Right.
But my husband has created a space where there are some things that I don't have to do.
That's right.
Because that's what he's there for. Now, I will say, after my first marriage, I was one of those ones that said, I'm not doing that again. But God has an amazing sense of humor.
Absolutely.
He 100% proved me wrong about that. And I'm grateful that he softened my heart to be able to open it up to someone else, and to show me what how a wife should be treated, how a person should be treated, how should be loved, and how a household should be run by 2 loving people. So it's definitely been a great experience for me. And it took a minute, I will say, because I was a single mom for a number of years before we met, and it took a minute. It took a minute for me to release the reins, but I own that. And I'll tell anybody that, I was used to being the one making decisions, doing what I wanted to do, when I wanted to do it, how I wanted to do it.
Absolutely.
I was the one, doing repairs around the home. I was doing all those things. And he stepped in and said,
I got this.
I got this.
I got this.
And for a long time, I was like, but he was like, I got this.
Yeah.
I know you can do it, but you don't have to do it.
But you don't have to do it.
You don't need to do it. That's what I'm here for.
Right.
If you don't need me to do these things, then why do you have me here? So that was a transition phase for me.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Especially when you've gotten so used to doing your own thing and taking care of yourself and all of that. And I think a lot of times, like you say, it's a lot of us have been out there for a long time on your own. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so it's kind of hard, like you say, to relinquish that control, to let go of the reins, and to just be able to operate in your softness and just be like, you know what,
honey, I'm loving all this soft girl era.
Girl,
every bit of it.
And
there are still sometimes I have to kind of bite my tongue. But that's the honesty and transparency of being who you are. Like some people are like, well, I can just there's sometimes I have to bite my tongue. Right. I start off and I'm about to shut up, Shumon.
But you know what? Oh goodness, that book "Marriage Still Works," I believe, is needed. Because I see, but I do see on social media a lot. I saw a video. Oh goodness, maybe a few weeks ago. It was a lady. She was hysterical. And she was crying and she was just saying, I want to be somebody's something.
I saw that.
Did you see that video?
I did, and my heart went out to her. My heart went out to her.
Yeah, because I don't think a lot of times we don't even want to say that. I think that took courage to come on here and say, I want to be somebody's something or somebody's wife.
It took a lot to be in that transparent space. It took a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Because again, social media got folks thinking that, women don't want to be wives or girlfriends or whatever. Maybe they don't, and sometimes people say marriage is overrated, and maybe for some people it is, but there are people out there that want to get married, right? And that want to have that.
And it's also, and I'm gonna tie this just slightly back to the Raising Kings book, but they're being a mom of sons and being a woman first, there are also women who, and this is strictly my opinion, who want the man just to kind of run him.
Right.
I'm sure you've probably seen some of those videos. If he's not going to eat here, or if he's not buying me this at this level, if it's not Gucci, if it's not this, if it's not that, or if we're not eating at Bentley's or Steak 48 or the Oak or some of these other places, that he's not good enough for me.
And I think that causes.
That's not what that's about.
Yeah.
That's not what that's about. And I have those conversations with my sons. There is a chapter in the book called Mom versus Woman, You Choose. And so when they bring questions and things to me relationship wise, I give them two perspectives.
Yes.
I'm going to give you the mom perspective, but I'm also going to give you the woman perspective, because I was a woman before I was a mom.
That's right.
Now, what you choose to do with those two pieces of information is completely up to you, because you all are young adults and you make your own decisions.
Right.
I'm going to give you both perspectives. The mom perspective is going to be a little bit more protective.
Of course.
The woman's perspective going to be like, look, she tripping.
Exactly.
But in the other side, my other side to that is, especially if it's a relationship situation, is what did you do to contribute to it?
Mm-hmm. We don't like to say that. We don't like to say that, do we?
Yeah.
We don't like to say we did that.
What did you contribute to it? How did we get here? I'm sure you all didn't arrive here on a solo mission. Something else transpired. How do we get here?
Yeah, but you know what? Like I said, I believe it's needed. I believe those conversations are needed. And like you said, you wanted to segue a little bit into your kings, and I want to talk a little bit about that too. Tell us about your book. First of all, tell us about that book.
Y'all, those are my babies. Okay, so they're grown, but they still my babies. So my book, Raising Kings, it's a mom's guide to raising boys. I released it in March of 2023. It did make Amazon bestseller in 9 categories. So I was absolutely elated about that. Super excited. There are a lot of books and things out there that talk about, how a young woman should be treated. A woman should know her worth. And, there's not many out there for our young kings. Our young kings need to know their worth. They need to be treated well as well. And that's a whole nother conversation for.
And it is.
Because sometimes our young women, are not treating our young men in the right way. And they nag. And then when they respond, you don't want to talk about why they responded the way they did.
Right.
Again, conversation for another day. We can go deeper. However,
yes, indeed.
But and so the book really, let me grab it here. Actually, the book Raising Kings. So here's the book, Mom's Guide to Raising Boys to Young Men. And so it just really talks about my journey, things that I learned as raising my young kings. A lot of people say, oh, well, you're married. Whether you're married, single, co-parenting, it has no bearing on how you parent as a mom.
Right.
Mom parents one way, a dad parents another way. And I don't discredit the man being a man role model being available in their lives. I discredit that not at all. But again, that still does not change how you parent as a mom.
Absolutely.
So this book really kind of talks about that. There are some resources and things, and I'll talk about my mishaps and things that I learned from that. The most exciting part about this book for me is that if you see on the back, you see my young kings there, and they wrote the very last chapter of the book from their
Yes.
perspective. And each
Yes.
one of them took their biggest learnings, what they've learned over the years through my parenting that have helped them be the young men and successful young kings that they are today. And so every time I read their chapter, I get misty eyed
I
because
bet.
a lot of times, you question, did I do enough?
Yeah.
Was I what you needed in those situations? And that's one of the questions that I'll leave with any mom or boy moms out there. I would say any mom really.
Yeah.
Um, you have to be who they need in each situation.
Mm-hmm.
And in each situation, that may look different. And
It would
that's
be-
okay.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
one situation, you may be the disciplinarian. In the next situation, they need a friend.
Yeah.
And in the next situation, they just need your shoulder and a listening ear. You have to tune in to what they need and be that
Yes.
in that moment. And I learned that a little later, but I want to share that to some moms now who still have younger kings. Now we have that now, and I started, in implementing that later on.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish I had that revelation when they were a little younger.
Right. Right.
And so we've talked about that. The very first chapter is boys have feelings too, and we talk about boys shouldn't cry, and they have this. We hurting our
We
men.
definitely teach that.
We hurting our men.
Teach that. Yeah.
They need an outlet too. They have feelings too. They shouldn't be forced to hold them in.
Right.
For the sake of just looking like this big strong person.
Absolutely.
They have feelings too, and they need to be allowed to express those feelings.
And that they can cry if they feel like crying without being ridiculed, what I'm saying, or called a sissy, or boys don't cry or men don't cry, right. And so
so the Raising Kings journal actually will be coming out this year. Will go with this book, and so there will be pages that will go with each chapter of the book, and it has some journal pages. It has some inner work that we can do as moms to understand kind of why we parent sometimes the way we do, and some things that you can do with your young king, things that you can think about how he responds to you when you ask certain questions, or responds to you when you come at him at a certain way. Right. It kind of encourages you to maybe try different ways of coming and speaking to your young king, or addressing him in different ways. Right. Handling his emotional health. So I'm super excited about the journal workbook that will be coming out. I actually just kind of sent it to the editor yesterday. So I'm hoping we can have it out by the end of March, so that I can start to offer some workshops to moms. I'm super excited about that. Some intimate, I may do some virtual, but I really want my first couple, I want to be in the room to kind of talk with them about that. And we'll talk a little bit about that at the Raising Kings Sneaker Ball.
Yes. I'm going to say, let's segue into that. I love it. Honey. Like you said, in the room, the energy is so much different than virtual. Yes. And I think with that workshop, it's important, for moms to be able to come, because it's a lot of moms, it's young moms, teenage moms, not teenage moms, that really don't have that support, sometimes don't even know that they need that support. Exactly. Or they don't want to admit, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to admit that sometimes. So I think that is amazing. Where are you located?
I'm in Charlotte.
That's Charlotte, what I thought. You are in Charlotte, yes. So I'm not gonna be there, but still.
Come visit me, girl.
But still though, I think that is so important. I think that work is important. So go ahead and tell us about this ball.
So this sneaker ball, so I'll be very transparent with you. I was back and forth on, should I do it? Should I not? Should I do it? Should I not? Right. And I was talking to my husband about it, and we were, anytime I'm doing something like this, we sit down and we have conversation. We talk about different things, and what's my hang up? What's my fear? What's my challenge? And he just looked at me. He said, "Do it."
Yes. And just do it.
So here we are doing it. We are doing it. So the Raising Kings sneaker ball, it's a mother-son sneaker ball. It gives an opportunity for moms and sons to have some quality time. All of my young kings will be there, so I'm super excited. There will be food. There will be music. Moms will get a chance to have a professional picture done with their young king, and I'll be giving those to them as gifts from me. I will be doing a raffle where people will be able to get a copy of the book, and as well, their T-shirt will look a little different, but it says "Raising Kings" T-shirt that they will be able to get. And I'll explain to you what Kings means in a little bit, but
yes,
what it stands for. But so I'm doing a raffle for that. For our younger children, there will be some little activities they can do to keep them busy and excited and engaged. And I just want everybody to have a good time. We see daddy-daughter dances all the time.
all the time.
You
Yeah,
hardly ever see mother-son dances. I have an amazing time with my sons. We laugh and we cut up and we, have that time. And I think it's super important, especially as some of our young kings go into like their high school, junior high school years, and they tend to separate.
Yeah.
They're in their rooms a whole lot. They're playing
Yep.
the video game. They're doing this. They're kind of in their own little silo. And that's okay, because that's how they're building their independence. But that doesn't mean you should take your hands off.
That's right.
That doesn't mean you shouldn't try to continue to build that relationship with them, so that if anything happens, it shouldn't be, oh God, I got to tell mom. It should be,
Right.
oh God, I want to tell mom.
Right.
There's a way to bridge that. And during those junior high and high school years are the time to start to do that.
And I think it's important to keep that connection, like you said, because they in their room or they outside in 90 degrees with a hoodie on, or they do.
Yes.
And they ain't thinking, they're not stunned about you no more. But it's good though, when you do build that foundation, and when you have that foundation, and you don't have to worry about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about you're gonna worry either way, but
you're gonna worry. But you don't have to worry as much about this.
As much. Yeah.
Because if they're so siloed, you don't know you're not gonna always know what's being said to them, but you kind of miss cues.
Yeah.
When they're so siloed off.
Yeah.
Even now, all of my young kings have moved out, except for one, the youngest one.
Okay.
And even still, he's 21, but even still now, I'll go, I'll knock on his door and go in. He'll say, come in, and I just lay across his bed.
Yeah.
And we just sit there and we talk and we laugh and we talk about, what's going on, what you got going on. You trying to, any new creative thing is going on. Into fashion, and he's sketching designs, and we talk about those, and I give him feedback on what market are you trying to stick with, and those. So just having that, and just
having a dialogue.
And sometimes just life. He'll be like, oh, I had a rough day at work. Well, what happened? So we talk. So you just keeping that open line of communication.
Absolutely. And it's absolutely important. Who said this? Iyanla Van Zant. She said it was a show she had some years ago, and she said, our sons are what their mothers make them. Right. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that's a hard pill to swallow when you think about that. You know what I mean? But it's absolutely true. And it's for the good or the bad. It's not necessarily a good thing. It's not a bad thing, but it's a thing. Right.
It's a thing. It's absolutely a thing.
Yeah.
And just like I heard someone say, and I can't remember who said it, but it resonated with me as well. We love, we raise our girls and love our boys.
Yeah.
And we tend to love our boys to a fault.
And kind of smother them a little bit too, and
handicap them.
Yeah, because you hear the mama boy, the baby boy, the mama's boy type of thing. But I don't know. I think that done. I mean, I don't know if there's a proper way to do it, but you can be a mama's boy without being a mama's boy. You know what I'm saying? Without being the type of because there's a little stigma with that. And so you don't, and then of course, then they want to pull away because they don't want to be known as that. You know what I mean? They don't want to be like, "Ooh, I'm the mama's boy," or you know what I'm saying? They get a girlfriend, "Oh, you a mama's boy," and so you don't want to. They kind of pull away from that. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I don't.
To a point, right?
To a point, right? And a lot of times, being a mama's boy has nothing to do with the son. It has everything to do with the mama.
With the mama, that's right. That's right.
Everything to do with the mama. Like all of my sons are mama's boys. Like they'll call randomly, and we, we have conversation, we talk and we laugh and we spend time together. However, they know I will put them in their place too.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Don't
Yeah.
play now.
Right. And if you're wrong, I'm gonna tell you that you're wrong.
Right.
Right. And I've had people say, I asked someone, actually asked one of the youngest one. I said, actually, two of them. I said, do you think I'm one of those moms that thinks there's not a woman good enough for you all? He said, he thought about it, but he said, no, I don't think that. He said, but what I do know is that you raised us to have standards, and we know what we bring to the table. And so when it's a lot of times we may not notice things that you notice.
Right.
Now, if I notice things, I'm going to tell them. That's up to them what they do with it, right? But they don't bring a lot of women home, young ladies home to meet me. It's like, if I don't feel like it's going anywhere, she don't need to meet you.
I know that's right. I know that's right. I know that's right. And it's important though. I love that you have that. You know what I mean? That you guys have that, because it's important to have that. And this daddy, I'm a daddy daughter. Mother son ball, I think, is important, because like you said, there's all, you see how that my mind is always, you always hear about daddy daughter balls.
Yes.
Or daddy daughter teas, or or whatever, and you don't hear so much about a sneaker ball for moms and sons. So I think that's gonna be an amazing time. But who is this raised to have standards? Absolutely love it. Who said that? So yes, absolutely.
I mean, we have to raise them to have standards. You either stand for something or you fall for anything.
That's it.
And so, most times they say men tend to look for women like their mothers.
Right.
And so I will say that makes me feel good, because I feel like I've given them a great foundation. Now from there, it's up to you to finish building the building, right? You have the foundation. But there are things that they were taught to do, and it was a requirement for me that they were taught to do. Now they might not like it. But they know how to do it, right? So they can all take care of a yard. They all know how to wipe baseboards. They were required to do it, once a month. They all know, how to do laundry, of course. They all know how to cook a full meal from scratch. They not popping stuff in the microwave. They can make homemade mac and cheese and fried chicken and green beans and collard greens. They can cook. They're not a microwave generation of young kings, because for me it was important.
That's right, because it is important.
It is. You need to be able to fend for yourself. And as women go walk around and say, well, there aren't any good men out here. There, all of the men that don't know how to do this, don't know how to do that. But mamas, we have a responsibility.
That's right.
Because when you're out there looking for your mate or your spouse or your significant other, you are looking for those things. So why would you not teach your son
and instill them into your sons? That's right.
Absolutely.
Because don't nobody, you don't raise your son and then, you know what I'm saying, and then be surprised later, when somebody's daughter like, girl, come get your raggedy son. Come get your raggedy son. Nobody want to be like,
yes, ma'am.
But it's absolutely true though. It's true though. And so I think this book is important and is needed. Like I said, the conversations are needed. Women, this generation, I think, gets a bad rap. You know what I mean? And I really do think that, of course, the one that's under us, and of course beyond that, but at the same time, you got to think about who you raising.
You do.
You gotta think about that. So if your son can't cook a meal or he can't wash clothes, who want that? Don't nobody want to be bothered with that, because it's such a different time, and he should be able to do those things, right? So I remember when I was talking to you before, did you say your son when he went to school was shocked, right? When the other was in his room, or somebody didn't know how to do laundry. You know what I mean? Those are basic life skills.
He was like, I'm getting ready to go do my laundry. He was like, oh, well, he was like, I don't do laundry. He was like, what you mean you don't do laundry?
Right.
My young kings started learning how to do laundry at the age of 8.
Yes, ma'am. Because those are basic life skills.
You separating your clothes, You
Yeah.
know what's washed in white, what needs Clorox, what's
Yeah.
washed in hot water, cold water. Like they were learning those things. And at 18 years old, you mean to tell me you didn't know how to do it? He said, Mama, he said he didn't know how to do his laundry, that he was gonna wait and take it home for his mama to do. I said, ooh. I don't even have no pearls on. Let me get some
Right. What?
Did you say your mama at 18 to do your this
Girl.
different if mama want to do it because she missed her baby versus mama
It's
have to do it because
yeah.
he don't know how.
Right. Absolutely. It is.
There's a
So you gonna have all these funky clothes till it's time to go home at Thanksgiving.
And you gonna have them funky clothes in this room with me.
Oh man, but you know what though, like you said, it's so important. And I don't think that we think of that. You know what I mean? I don't think we think of those certain things. And when we were raising our young men, I know mine know how to wash clothes and do all the things and cook meals and things like that. And I think, you know, it was just second nature, but a lot of times the girls sometimes don't even know how to do that, you know, right now. You know, I'm just saying.
Do we need to jump on that soapbox?
I'm just saying.
Because
you know, that's another 30-minute show. We're gonna have to think about that one too. Yeah, man.
Because in some situations it makes me wonder, what did your mama teach you about being a woman?
Yeah. But also, if your mother didn't teach you that, what did her mother teach her?
Absolutely.
Gotta think about that too.
Yeah, it could definitely be generational. Definitely be generational. Yeah. There have been a few that I've kind of
had to be like,
son, you
girl,
sure? Look, son, you sure?
Yeah, this might not be it, right? This might not be it.
I never say this might not be it. I always just say, you sure?
You sure? But that's saying it without saying it. You might not say the words, but
I just tell them okay.
Yeah.
And if you want to carry on, carry. This is your life. Right. You have to live it. It is not for me to live on your behalf.
That's right.
I have lived my life in the way that I've lived it. You know, whether it hasn't been all good, and definitely hasn't been all bad. However, it is not for me to live your life for you. You have to live that. You have to learn through those challenges, through those mistakes, and learn from that to make you a better man, to make you, you know, at some point a king, no longer a young king, but a king. Once you get to that place where you are able to show yourself in a place of integrity at all times, show yourself as a king and a leader, not only in the community, but also in your workplace, but also in your home. You know, those things are important if we want our men to be in that rightful place, which is where they were depicted or scheduled to be, are supposed to be based on God. They are supposed to be the head.
Period.
And we have to make sure that we are building them up to be that.
That's it.
And if we are handicapping them and babying them, then they cannot be that. They cannot be that in the community, because they're not going to be looked upon as a leader, looked upon as a respected person. Same thing on the job. You have to present yourself in a way that people respect who you are when you walk in the room. When you walk in the room, people should know that you're the leader. There should never be a question because of how you carry yourself, how you speak, and how you present yourself. And so all those things are important. You talk to them about holding their head up and always being in a place of integrity. And always, looking somebody in their eye. There's a way to be, to speak your mind, but also to be humble. Your humbleness should never leave you in any situation. You can speak your mind and speak your piece, but you can be respectful and humble while you do it.
Yeah.
You ain't got to be
and acting up. That's right, though.
Most times it's not necessary.
That's right.
Because if people respect you, they're going to listen.
And then, because sometimes they kind of buck up because they want to be heard and not know the way to go about, you know what I mean? Don't know the proper way. So somebody is going to hear you, because they're not going to hear you with all of the nonsense anyway.
Right.
They ain't going to hear that anyway.
And don't get me wrong. I understand we get emotional, and certain things get us fired up. And, we've had those conversations where they've gotten all fired up and
Calm down, killer. Calm down. Calm down.
Look, I know you're not. I know you're not talking to me because you're just telling me the situation, but you're talking to me.
Yeah.
So let's dial it back a little bit.
Yeah, and pump your brakes a little bit. Calm down, killer.
Right, and take a deep breath. Right, and let's now tell me what's going on, how we got here, and how did you respond?
Right. Yeah.
And did you respond in a way that you think was of integrity?
I love it.
That's what Kings stands for.
That's it. Yes. Yes. Tell us what that
Kings stands for keep your integrity and never give your soul.
I love it.
That's what Kings stand for.
Keep your integrity and never give your soul. I love that. Kings, absolutely.
Always live, walk, speak, live your life in a way of integrity. And don't let anyone take that from you. If you don't have anything else in life, you have your name, you have your integrity, and you have your soul.
That's it. That's it. Keep. You know what? I love that analogy. I love that, man. One more time, tell the people about your ball in the book, so they know. And I've dropped a link to her website. It's in there. Facebook is her Facebook page is in there. IG is in there. Yeah. So I'm gonna, I want you to tell them where they can find you. And one more time about this ball in this book.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find me on, so my website is iamshumon.com. You can see it on the front of my shirt. You can learn a lot more about me as a person on my website, who I am as a person first, then as an author, then as a motivational speaker and a vocalist. And we'll talk about that. I can be reached on Facebook at I Am Shumon, and there's a space in between I and am. My Instagram is I_am_Shumon. And then actually on TikTok, I'm also I_am_Shumon. You go on my TikTok, you can actually hear some singing, as they say.
Oh, okay. I love it. I love it. The marketer in me loves the consistency with the branding across. So you can find her everywhere with I Am Shumon.
I Am Shumon. You can find it in the same way. Look, sometimes without the underscore, because Facebook didn't like my underscore, so I had to get
no, they like that.
So that's where you can find me. Again, the sneaker ball, the mother son sneaker ball is tickets are on sale now.
Okay.
It is March 16th of 2024. It's from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. It is at the Excellency Dance Studio here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Tickets are on sale now on my website. Okay. Again, at iamshumon.com. And I'm excited to, young kings of all ages will be there. And I'm just super excited to see, hopefully my prayer is that we will see relationships and quality time between moms and sons strengthen and grow, and see that bond, hopefully for those who may have is broken, to be rebuilt. I will speak a very brief few moments to the parents and to the young, to the moms while we're there. And I'm excited that my young kings will actually speak to the kings in the room, and just dropping a few jewels with them to encourage them to keep going, encourage them to listen to their moms, things that they wish they had listened to earlier.
Right.
So they'll be imparting just a little bit of knowledge with the young kings. So I'm excited about that.
I'm excited for you. I am. I think this is going to be a good time. I love what you're doing. I think you are super amazing. I do. I really do. So I'm going to be on TikTok going to hear me some songs, girl.
Listen to some singing, girl.
Head on over there so I can hear some singing.
Yes, some singing.
So I'm just very grateful that you came on here with me. Thank you for your time. Thank you for taking the time out, to spread your word and spread your message, man. So
I thank you for the opportunity. Anytime I get an opportunity to share this message, I am looking to connect with, boy moms, parenting groups in all areas to
yeah,
be able to speak to moms. I'm excited, like I said, for the journal to come out so that I can do some workshops with some moms about
absolutely.
that. So if you are listening or watching and you have those opportunities and know of those opportunities, please reach out.
That's
I would
right.
love to talk with you further about it. I do book clubs if they want to read the book and have our session together and talk about one of the chapters. I'm 100% open to that. For me, God, family is the center for me,
Yeah,
and those things are what have made me who I am and keep me going and keep me motivated and encouraged. So when it comes to being a mom, being a wife, being a friend, those
yes,
things are super important to me, and
yeah.
how I live my life every day. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
And I'm gonna
Congratulations.
tag this real quick. So even if you don't go to TikTok, if you are on Spotify, Tidal, Apple Music, YouTube, look up a song called "The Difference," and it's by Shumon. It was released on my birthday in 2020.
The difference.
The Difference,
Okay.
September 25th, 2022. It was released.
Can we get a bar? Can we get a verse? Or something?
Sure, why not?
Come on, give us
Snippets
the verse. Close in.
red flags. All your brothers seem to come with baggage like broken glass. The way it shatters, fixing us it never mattered. A running game on my heart. Didn't know I mastered the art of walking away. Surprise, I didn't stay. You gotta listen to it. Ooh, boy, you came along and introduced me to something new. I knew then it had to be you. Always by my side, baby, it's you. Brought love back to life, baby, it's you. Though it may sound cliche, boy, it's you, you. So I wrote that one for my
Come
husband.
on now.
I wrote that one for my husband. It's
I
about him.
love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all better get on Spotify, honey,
No
and check
Spotify.
out The Difference. All the links I'm gonna put them because you know how I don't know if you know, but StreamYard, certain places you can put a link, certain places you can't. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go through on all of the channels. We were live in YouTube, the Back to Her page, Sisterhood Private Group, all of these places. I'm gonna drop these links because I want people to reach out and connect with you.
Please
Right?
do. I would love to connect with all of you. I promise y'all, I'm one of the sweetest people in the world. People think I'm a little bougie. I am. I like what I like.
We bougie,
We all like what we like. However, a lot of so, but I am one of the sweetest people that you would ever meet. I give you the shirt off my back, but you're not gonna play me either. So
and I know that's real. And be bougie. Crystal said, wait a minute. Crystal says she is happy that she tuned in. I'm happy you tuned in too. She said, I'm happy. I
Oh,
tuned in. You inspired me today. I'm happy.
oh,
That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for, man.
that really, Crystal, thank you so much. That really touched my heart. Because what we do every day should be to inspire, encourage, or motivate somebody. If you inspire one person a day,
That's
or
it.
even in your week, I would say one person in your lifetime, honey, your living is not in vain.
That's
And
it.
I don't take that lightly. I am forever grateful.
And I don't, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the platform. I'm grateful, for the ability. I'm grateful that God gave me the ability to be able to come on here and to highlight and to showcase these businesses and showcase women and the amazing things that we out here doing.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate you, sister. I thank you for
Thank
stopping
you,
by.
Angela. You're the best.
Thank you.
You're absolutely the best.
It's like, we done had a good time 2 times in a row. So
two
I
times in a row.
That's it. And I'm gonna have to call you and holler at you anyway. We got some things to talk about anyway.
Yeah, we definitely got something. We got some more things to talk about because we didn't even get to the book Evolve, and that's a whole nother to talk about how we got to
how you got here. That's
I
right.
am. That's right. Some people that you don't look like what you've been through.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, indeed. Like I said, I appreciate you, girl. And I thank you. And I'm going to, because I do this quick all the time. So I'm going to say it before I take you off. Girl, I'll be like, okay, I'm going to take, thank you. And before you know it, I done took them off and ain't gave them a chance. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And I appreciate you. And I'm just going to take you off. I appreciate you. Sister.
Thanks, Angela.
All right. That was so good. That was such an amazing conversation. Again, all of her links are going to be in the comments everywhere. So thank y'all for tuning in. We are booked up for February, y'all. We are booked up for February. I'm going to be dropping the calendar again. So I'm looking for women entrepreneurs, business owners, authors, speakers, whatever. I want y'all to come on so we can talk about it. Talk about it on Thursday. Highlight your business, the beautiful things that you're doing in your communities. We want to talk about it. We want to hear from you. But again, until next time, I appreciate you. This was Talk About It Thursday with Angela and Mitchell. Good night.